Not everyone who asks for help deserves it. That's a hard truth most people learn too late, after they've already been drained, taken advantage of, and left wondering why their generosity was never enough.
Because here's what most people don't realize. Some people don't want help. They want something else entirely, and giving it to them will cost you more than you think. There are 6 specific types of people who will make you regret every bit of help you give them.
And the damage they cause isn't just about wasted time or energy. It's about what helping them teaches you to accept. Watch this till the end, because the last type is the one that causes the most damage. Before we start, like the video and subscribe to LifeBased for more insights about protecting yourself and understanding the patterns in your relationships. Let's get into it. Number 1. The crisis addict. This is someone who's always in an emergency, always dealing with something urgent, always one disaster away from falling apart. And when you hear their story, you want to help because it sounds desperate. But here's what you notice over time. The crises never stop, and they're not random bad luck, they're self-inflicted. They spent their rent money and need you to cover it. Again. They got fired from another job because they didn't show up. Again. Their car broke down because they never maintained it. Again. And every time they come to you in a panic. And every time you help because it feels like an emergency. But it's not an emergency. It's a pattern. They create chaos, and then they need someone to clean it up, and that someone is you. Here's what's actually happening. They're not unlucky, they're reckless, because they know someone will save them. Your help isn't solving their problems, it's enabling their behavior. When you bail them out, you're teaching them that they don't need to be responsible because you'll handle the consequences for them. And the crises will keep coming, because the crisis isn't the problem. The lack of accountability is. And as long as you keep rescuing them, they'll keep creating situations that need rescuing. Number 2, the entitled taker. This is someone who doesn't ask for help, they expect it. They don't say thank you when you help them, because in their mind, you didn't do them a favor, you did what you were supposed to do. And the moment you help them once, it becomes the standard. Next time, they expect more. And if you can't give it, they're not disappointed, they're offended. Here's how you know you're dealing with an entitled taker. When you help them, they don't express gratitude, they express relief that you finally came through, like you were late to an obligation you had to them. And if you say no the next time they ask, they don't accept it. They get upset. They bring up the last time you helped as if that created a contract. In their mind, helping them isn't something you chose to do, it's something you're supposed to do. And stepping out of that role feels like betrayal to them. When you help an entitled taker, you're not building a relationship, you're accepting a job you didn't apply for. They don't see you as generous, they see you as reliable. And the difference matters, because generous people get appreciated, reliable people get expected. And once you're expected, you're no longer valued. You're just resented when you're not available. And when you finally set a boundary, they don't respect it. They're angry that you're not doing what you're supposed to do anymore, because to them, your help was never a gift, it was their right. Number 3. The user who only shows up when they need something. You don't hear from them for months, maybe years, and then one day they reach out. And it's not to catch up, it's not to see how you're doing, it's because they need something. A favor, advice, money, a connection, and they frame it like your old friends reconnecting. Here's the test. After they get what they need, do they stick around or do they disappear again? Because if it's the latter, the relationship isn't real. It's transactional. They don't value you as a person, they value what you can provide. And the moment you can't provide it, you stop existing to them. You're not a friend, you're a resource they pull from when they need it. When you help a user, you're teaching them that the transaction works, that they can show up, take what they need, and leave. And they'll keep doing it because you keep allowing it. And here's the part that hurts the most. When you need help, they won't be there because the relationship was never mutual. It was one-sided from the start. You just didn't want to see it. And by the time you do, you've already given them more than they ever deserved. And they're gone. Number 4, the scorekeeper. This is someone who keeps track of every favor like it's a financial transaction. They remember exactly what they did for you, and they'll bring it up constantly. Every time they ask for something, they remind you of what they gave. And it doesn't matter if it was years ago. It doesn't matter if you've helped them 10 times since. That one favor is a debt they expect you to repay. Here's how this works. They help you once, and from that moment on, you owe them. When they ask for something, they don't just ask, they remind you. Remember when I helped you move? Remember when I lent you money? Remember when I was there for you? And suddenly, your answer isn't based on whether you want to help. It's based on whether you can afford to say no to someone who's holding past favors over your head. When you help a scorekeeper, you're not evening the score, you're adding to it, because they don't keep track of what you do for them, only what they do for you. The ledger is one-sided, and no matter how much you give, you'll always owe them, because the point isn't reciprocity, the point is control. They want to hold something over you, and as long as you help them, they'll keep that leverage.
Number 5. The boundary tester. This is someone who starts small and escalates. They ask for something reasonable. Can I borrow $20? Can you give me a ride? Can I stay one night? And you say yes, because it's small. But that yes is a test, and once you pass it, the requests get bigger. Can I borrow $20? Becomes, can I borrow $200? Can you give me a ride? Becomes, can I borrow your car? Can I stay one night? Becomes, can I stay a week? And every time you say yes, they push further, because they're not asking for help. They're testing your boundaries to see how much they can take. And every yes you give moves the line. Here's what makes this type dangerous. They're strategic. They don't ask for everything at once because they know you'd say no. They ease you in. They condition you to say yes to small things so that by the time they ask for something big, you've already established a pattern. And saying no feels harder because you've already said yes so many times before. When you help a boundary tester, you're not helping someone in need. You're teaching someone that your limits don't exist, that if they push hard enough or ask enough times, you'll give in. And they'll keep pushing because you've shown them they can. Number 6, the person who turns your help into ammunition. This is the most damaging type because they don't just fail to appreciate your help, they use it against you. You help them because you care, and later they reframe that help as proof that something's wrong with you. They tell people you think you're better than them, that you were trying to fix them, that you made them feel small. And suddenly, you're not the person who helped. You're the person who insulted them by helping. Here's how this happens. You offer help from a genuine place, but they're insecure, and instead of receiving help as kindness, they receive it as judgment. In their mind, you helping them means you think they're incapable, and they resent you for it. And that resentment doesn't stay between you. They talk about it. They rewrite the story, and your generosity becomes evidence of your arrogance in the story they tell. When you help someone like this, you hand them a weapon, and they will use it. Not right away, but later, when they need to explain why they don't like you, or why they distance themselves, or why they're talking about you to others. Not everyone who needs help should get it, and learning to recognize these 6 types isn't about being cold. It's about protecting yourself from people who will punish you for your kindness. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to walk away from people who take without giving. If you found this helpful, like the video and subscribe to LifeBased. Thanks for watching.